All right. Welcome to round two of the January 24th $15 weekend tournament. The games are 60 minutes long. Round two I was matched up against Theodore Casey, who, you guys will see. This was the game where I was able to utilize a good opening, or excuse me, a new opening. It's a good one. Something I've been working on, something I'm going to incorporate a little bit more. Sneak peek, it's the Jobava London. And I just started learning it, and I thought, he's a bit lower rated. I should probably try new things. Let's test my theory. Thankfully, he went into a line that I did study, sort of, one of the first, very common ways to make an opponent make a mistake. So I was able to whip out a pretty miraculous move. So without further ado, I don't really think there's much in the preamble. I know in the last one I said that I was going to get started right away with the recap. The reality is, my schedule notwithstanding, it's going to be about to be a blizzard. They kind of change things around. Let's have some fun and analyze game two. By the way, game one I played horribly. Game two I actually played very well. Very well. So we'll see what happens. So I play my d4. I'm a d4 dude. And for the last, many months against d5, I've been playing c4, going, accepting either, basically Queen's Gambit, Semi-Slav, various things like that. Queen's Gambit accepted, blah, 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 blah. And, I've been trying to get into the Catalan most of the time, but I've done that stuff. I'm sure I'll go back to that system, but I think for now I'm going to try to turn myself more into a Jobava player. Because it's a little more fun. And what it involves is this knight c3 move. So this is going to be my new normal for a little bit of time, especially as I learn the opening. The key move is that they play knight to f6. There are a few other things that the opponent can do, and I very briefly studied them or looked at them, like e6, but I'm not really... I really didn't want him to play something else. This is just very, very common. I wanted him to go into this, and he did. And the reason why is you want to get this kind of system. This is the Jobava London. The key idea of the first one, there's a lot of tricks and traps in this opening, which is why it's so cool, is I'm looking to play knight b5 and just immediately pigeonhole the fork. And if the opponent plays knight c6, especially in blitz, is a very common answer, you can almost win on the spot. However, c5 is a well-established good move, and I had to think. By the way, the first and third opponents played very slowly. Theodore Casey played very quickly. So this was the only game that I was actually down on time, despite knowing the opening so well. And actually, my opponent, he's newer to over the board chess. He definitely played too fast in the opening because he didn't know what he was doing, and he blitzed out anyway, and he got into trouble. However, he played incredibly well and he defended. So this is going to be a 50 move game, and you guys will see what happens. All right. So I play theory. E3 is the right move here. He takes. I take back the pawn. I briefly considered queen takes, trying to remember, but it's pawn takes is the right move. And then he blunders. And he falls into knight to c6, and I'm able to hit him with the wonderful knight b5. There's only one move in the position to play on. He thought for a little bit of time. He found it, of course. Online, I've been going pawn takes. It's actually more accurate to go bishop takes, so I did play that. He takes, I take. All this is theory. All this is stuff I've trained already. This is actually the best move as well, knight g4. For some reason, I thought knight e4 was better, but it's fine. And here, pause the video. If you want to play a beautiful move, because it looks like he's going to just gobble back the pawn, what can white do? And I played this, and he was he was moving immediately. Then when I played this, he recoiled, and I obviously can't take credit for it. It's not like I was I saw this brilliancy. It's a very known trap, but it still looks very cool. And it's the very beautiful queen takes pawn. And it's super cool, right? Because playing this over the board, it's whoa, and then eventually he took, and the reason why is you have this knight check, he moves his king, and then I take. And basically the truth is already white is just winning. It's already a +2 position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm up a pawn, but I'm now queenside castled. He's lost the rights to castle. I have all these discoveries. White is just objectively winning. So I would say game one of the Jobava, resounding success. In all my Catalan positions and stuff, I've played 12 moves or 13 moves, done very well. and like not a single one of them have I been winning out of the opening. And literally the first time I play the Jobava, and I'm just winning the game on the spot. So it's kind of funny. So maybe this is like the right opening for me. So anyway, then after I play all that, I was kind of blitzing the first 12 moves because I had studied. I knew up to this point, and I know that this is winning, but I don't know anything. So now I'm having to try to make my own moves, and I realize. What black can play for is, funny enough, the same fork. So basically going knight to g4 and squizzling it on in. So I thought I needed to stop that. And so I want to get my pieces involved. I want to be able to play a discovery, but none of the discoveries looked good yet. Maybe I could have. Maybe like... Oh, right. Sorry. He plays his move first. Yeah. Bishop d7, which is good. He's stopping a lot of like discoveries. Because if he didn't, then maybe, I can go out wide and apply pressure, check him. Nonetheless, I think that his main idea is to move his knight, try to look for like the counterattack, something like that. So I kind of want to stop that. I want to get my pieces in. And I played what I thought was a natural move, bishop e2, and, it seems fine. This is stopping him. He can't go out wide. Furthermore, when I dislodge him with f4, I have ideas of bringing my piece into the attack to further pressure the bishop on d7. He goes, bishop to c5, and I didn't think this was much of a threat. He's technically attacking the pawn, but I wanted to play f4 anyway, just kind of get it rolling and get some activity, so I do that. He retreats, and I feel great. Like, this is where I make a mistake. I played knight h3. Apparently the computer doesn't value it as a mistake, but the whole time I'm thinking that in a lot of Jobava's systems, you don't want to block your bishop, because I was looking to utilize this long diagonal, essentially. And so I can't develop my knight. I want to connect my rook because I want to bring my rook to e1. So I thought that meant the natural move was knight h3. The idea as well, threatening knight to g5 for another fork, to target on this side of the board, but also so I could bring my piece over. The problem is... he played h6, and now all of a sudden this is kind of a bad knight. It's not so easy for me to just push the pawn, because I want to be able to basically get active. I can't move backwards. His bishop's actually taken away. So actually, I thought I gave myself a weakness. In this position, I thought for a while, and I thought, okay, like, let's just clamp down. Let's play positionally. I'm winning, but, like, let's showcase the skill to win. What does he want to do? Well, he probably, has this knight. He has this check with his bishop to win back a pawn. Right now, both knights are defending it, so, like, not really. But I thought, why don't we get some look for the king and take away knight moves? So I play c3, which I thought was a pretty good move. Again, maybe there's some lines where I'm going to be moving my king. Not now. He would just be able to check me. But I thought this restricts the movement of his pieces. He brought the rook in, and it looks like he's attacking my bishop. But I thought I played a very clever move here. Bishop h5. And my thinking was, if he does something to stop me here, I would redirect my bishop where I want it. And now I'm threatening this fork. And it's really hard to stop it because, again, he just doesn't have a lot of moves. His pieces are so cramped. So I thought I would induce a weakness. And if he moved back, which is what he did, he's defending, but he's like wasted tempo, or wasted time. And if he does something else, like, I don't know, run, like, let's say he can't run up, I'm taking my way, let's say run, then I would just take the pawn. And again, immediately attack his piece where he doesn't have like almost any entryway squares. Maybe he could take the file here. I don't know. Does this work? Yeah. Maybe this works, actually. Actually, maybe this isn't so bad for him. What would I do here? I don't know. Maybe I can't take that pawn. Well, nonetheless, in that recap, he was kind of funny. He's like, oh, I was so mad that you played that. He's like, I had to move back. So he ends up moving back. So I thought this was a big win. And then once he does, now I develop my plan. The other reason I played c3 is I thought I could play b4. I want to force him off this diagonal so that I can reroute my knight. So I play b4. His move is forced. He could maybe just back off the diagonal immediately. He doesn't. I have a4, a5 ideas, which is what I just do. I just go for it. I mean, I'm threatening to trap his piece, and I'm threatening to just like trade it off. He moves his knight, which is not what I was expecting. And I think this was actually a good move. What did I do? I took it. Yeah, I was considering not taking it, playing here, but I thought takes. Um, I mean, this is still like really good for me. Don't get me wrong. Um, but yeah, I thought that he was like maybe untangling because right now like he's just super tangled. But I thought in this line basically knight takes, he takes back, and I come in with check anyway. And I've kind of brought my pieces into the game. I have outstanding rooks. His rooks are kind of dead. And as soon as I can resolve this piece, again, I can cram this so I can play it. I'm in really good shape. He plays d8. He repins himself. Like this bishop has just been stuck there. Oh, and I play the in-between move. Rather than playing this immediately, I thought I should target it because I knew f5 was forced. And now in these lines, like if I played a5 here, obviously he would go. But I thought he might have, no, excuse me. Maybe this wasn't a good move to force. For some reason, I wanted to force f5. Why? I wanted to force f5. Obviously, I'm bearing down. It's the only move in the position. Because I thought with f5 moved, I could then go to the square I wanted to, which is attack another pawn, more diagonals, and there are no lines where my knight is unpre. So I'm not that worried about it. So I thought that was good for me. And I thought here as well, this is a very important pawn, forces his move of like rook b8. Like he's so stuck here. Now I just continue to attack because before there are some lines where like he gets active. Now I'm threatening to trap his bishop. He moves back, only move. And like this is very natural. Like this is attacked. I want to be able to develop my knight. I don't want to leave my thing hanging. So one idea would be to play g3, but I went for the more active line. I think the much better line of rook d4, so that my rook would defend and attack at the same time, with the idea of going rook e to d1. And I was really proud of this move. I thought it was very, very good. He plays here, and I know that this is where I made like my first mistake of the game. Like I'm kind of crushing him here, even though I'm only up a pawn. Positionally, he is just crushed. I should have played rook e d1, and I calculated that he'd have to go rook e7. And then, then I guess I just play like knight f2 or something like that. Instead, I traded, and for some reason, I thought with the trade, I would then have this check, because, his piece is stuck here. I could reroute. Obviously, if he self-pins or runs, he loses material, so this is the only move. Again, thinking that, there's a chance for my opponent to make a mistake. And I thought I would be able to wiggle in, but then I realized that actually this piece isn't pinned anymore, and I can't wiggle in. In fact, if I was to play up, he would just have this nasty move, king f6 as well. No, it doesn't work, because then I just take. So he doesn't have that. Probably maybe has this. I don't know. The point is, it didn't work. I wasn't winning the pawn anymore. I try to get my knight active. It's a bad piece. He attacks the pawn. Now I play g3. I have pawns on dark squares, so his dark square bishop is in prison, basically. It has like no mobility. His rook is a bad piece. So position, I still felt very good here. And then he plays rook d8, and I wanted to leave rooks on. It's actually getting, like, I'm not really converting my advantage to like anything decisive, so I'm feeling not so great about it. I play here with the idea that actually I'm threatening to play b5, and then if he moves the bishop, whoopsie, he loses the bishop. And I think he only has one move in this position as well, and he finds it. He plays the rook up, because now I'm not threatening here, because now I can just take the pawn, and I'm not threatening to take his bishop. So, so I thought that was good on his part. I really don't want to trade these pieces. I try to get my knight into the game. I'm trying to reroute it, so I'm hitting the f5 square, or the f5 pawn. He attacks my rook. I slide over, and he just moves back. And now he's defending everything, and like he's really, I mean, this guy is 1300. He defended like a mad lad. He like lost out of the opening, and he's played a lot of really resourceful, good defensive moves. And I realize I'm going to be trading these pieces, and it actually looks like this game might be headed towards a draw, which is embarrassing given how dominant my position was. Apparently the computer says he should take with the king. Anyway, I now finally activate my knight. I have forking ideas. I'm trying to also soften up his f-pawn. I am up a pawn, it's worth mentioning, which is not necessarily decisive. But I am like at no point was I ever worse in this game. At no point was I ever even remotely close to losing. It just was a matter of am I going to beat this guy or not. He re-centralizes his bishop. Maybe he has plans of getting it to e4. I don't know. And I think now is the time to try to like march up with my king. I need to make it an attacker. The dark squares are very safe for me. He moves his king over, and I move my king up. Apparently this is a mistake. I wonder why. He pushes the pawn. I know I cannot trade, because if I trade and he gets active, all of a sudden his bishops come to life. The bishop pair is very strong here. So I thought I had to seal it up. I do. Plus this is like kind of close to queening. And he pushes g5, which I wasn't expecting. And this whole game, I didn't spend that long on any move. But here I started calculating. I spent 15... Remember, you only have an hour. I spent 15 minutes on this one move because I thought I calculated the win. And it's to not... like obviously, I could take, but I thought take... And I thought he should take with the king. And I thought that this was just drawn. I basically would have to waste time moving my my rook. Oh, excuse me, not rook. My bishop. Let's say he goes here, trade, trade. And this definitely looks like we're headed towards a draw because I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there. So I calculated d4, and I calculated takes, knight check. And the reason why I'm forking these pieces, it forces the trade. If he ran for, like, he can't, yeah, if he, sorry, in this position, here we go. In this position, obviously I either take, which I think was a draw, or I thought I calculated the win. And hear me out here, guys. I calculated knight to d5, check, fork. If he ran, I would take, he would take, I would then take. And in that position, I would use the dark squares to get over and queen. And I counted 6 moves that it would take me, whereas I would have the defenses, whereas for him it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 with my piece, and he might have to move his piece in. But I basically, I thought I calculated the win there. I thought if I check here and he takes and I take, then I can move in because now he can't actually ever defend this pawn, the A pawn. If he moves, because again, my king on b7, I would beat his king there, would be taking away the b8 square, so he could never defend it, and then I'd be able to take it, move over, and then queen. So I thought I calculated the win. I spent so long, I went for it. He takes, I take. He takes, I take. Everything going according to plan. He takes, and I think, great, I have highway to heaven. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is where I counted the 6 moves. And he doesn't have the win himself because my bishop is blocking. If he moves in, I just drop it anyway, and it's too low, and I can always sacrifice my bishop for the queening pawn, so I'm winning. So I start moving in, and then he plays this move, b5, and this is beautiful. And I didn't calculate this, when was this? Move 39, I didn't see on move 42 he has b5, and it's a brilliant idea because he can reroute his bishop, and then he's actually forever defending along that diagonal rather than having to do it on this diagonal. And I realized I might not be winning anymore because I can't capture this pawn. If this pawn doesn't fall, I can never queen. So I got upset. I can't move in. He just again sits his bishop here, and it's, there's nothing I can do about it. So I decided I have to take the pawn. I have to try to connect I have to try to push my connected pawns, hoping that the light squares would be enough for me to basically win by sitting my bishop there. He starts getting his king in. I move my pawn up. He moves over. I think actually in this position, I didn't want to move my king over because I thought he would actually be able to play his bishop here, and whichever pawn I push, I lose the other one. So let's say I push here. He takes here. I guess I could probably go there. Maybe this is winning now for me. Maybe. But maybe not, I don't know. Instead, I play c4. I check him. I'm going to reroute my bishop. First off, I move my king over so I can basically connect my pawns. He takes away this diagonal. And now I'm taking away this diagonal. So I'm basically shouldering his king off of like any entryway squares. And my idea was basically to move my king up and just push these pawns if I can get it in this position. He moves his bishop. I think it was not the right move, but maybe it's fine. And he moves his king over. He's trying to basically sit on the b8 square, which makes sense. I move my king over, and then I move here with the idea of basically pushing. He moves his king here, and when he, like, for the record, when he moves his king here, he has 30 minutes on the clock. I reach to play the move b6, thinking b6, trade, he has to, like, sacrifice, and then obviously I'm going to be able to maybe win this. Like, I guess I could win these pawns first. But to my shock, and I wasn't sure if I was winning here or if it was a draw. He resigns. And I was shocked because I actually thought this was a draw, and we went over it a little bit after the analysis, and we should have gone over it more. I think my opponent resigned a drawn game. I think he defended amazingly, and then I think he saw, but because the thing is, I'll play. I didn't do this, but I saw pushing that if he takes, I take. He sacrifices, takes. This is a win, I think, and the reason it's a win is that I control the queening square, so I can basically, I think I can march back and win these pawns, and like if these pawns are off the board, I would be able to push this, and again, you'd eventually have to move, and I eventually had queen. So because of the fact that it's a light square. But I saw that he didn't have to do that. That if I pushed, that he doesn't have to take here. That he could do something like literally just like move the bishop. And I saw that this was not a win for me. Because if I ever take, he takes here. And I think he's holding here. I think. Because he just has to stop this pawn, and he can literally just sacrifice for it. So I thought that worked for him. If I pushed. And I also saw... what else did I see? Yeah, just basically moving the bishop here, ignoring it. And if I push like this, this is still just not a win for me. At least I don't think so. Maybe I can, like, I don't know. If he plays here, I go here. Maybe I can push down. I'm not sure. Let's just pretend. Let's just pretend he does this. Right? He can just, like, take. Anyway, confusing one, for sure. But that was the game. Let's turn on the engine, and I think, I thought I played great, but I thought my opponent played really well, was really resourceful, and yeah, I mean, if you look at it, I played 90.3, he played 89.3, and yeah, it was a totally drawn game. I blew my lead. I had a huge advantage. I was playing great, and I couldn't grind this guy down, this kid. 90.3, a good game by me. Again, anything over 85, I'm happy about. And he defended great. But he resigned a drawn game because he saw a ghost. He had 30 minutes to work it out. And again, at no point was I ever worse, of course, but I really did sputter. So let's turn on the engine and real quick show this one off. Because again, I mean, I was proud of how I played. I thought I played very well, but I definitely blew it after I was like squeezing the nook and cranny. Yeah, this is the key move when you can play knight b5 here in the Jobaba. I needed some sips of water. Anyway, the point is, he really should have played it out. When I was playing pushing, I thought that maybe there was a chance I was winning. I knew I was never losing. I was, gonna play it out. I was gonna push. So imagine my surprise and delight when he got up. He shook my hand. I actually said, I've almost never done this. I said, oh wow. I said, we are resigning. He's like, yeah, good game. You got me there. And I was like, okay. And then we had a nice conversation. We broke down the game, and he was like, I was crushing him positionally for sure, but I just couldn't find the continuation. And we got to that end game where I'm up a pawn, but it's bishops of opposite. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, game one, I got lucky because my opponent got low in time trouble and, like, I blundered awfully. This game, I got lucky because I definitely outplayed him, but it was a drawn endgame and he didn't. He resigned in a drawn endgame. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm. Maybe this, I went 3-0 against players that are, I think, on average about 300 points weaker than me. I got lucky, man. Like, I don't know what else to say. I got lucky. Anyway, all right. Back to the game. E5 is basically the only real shot. Bishop takes is slightly better than pawn takes. We go into this line again. I had studied this. I know this through for some reason it looks like knight g4 is the best move. For some reason I thought knight e4 was the line, but I guess they're all the same. Pretty much everything happens. I wonder if I messed up here though. So he goes knight g4, and I go queen takes. The brilliant! I've added it to my my brilliant tab. So I told you every game there was a brilliant move. So this one was all me. Well, really, this was just opening prep. And it looks like they're supposed to play bishop b4 first, and then I just block c3. I don't know what that does, but he takes, which is fine. And then obviously only move. Like, this is the whole point of it. And it was beautiful to be able to play. So shout out to Ryan who will watch this. I told you I had a queen sacrifice. Yeah. And like, okay, when I say white, I mean, look, 10 moves in being plus 1.2, I would take that against everybody. It's just a huge opening win. I take the queen, he takes my pawn, and now I queenside castle. And I'm going to leave it here. This is what I meant. Basically, we've arrived at this position where I have queenside castling. He's lost castling rights. I'm up a pawn. My pieces are more active. This is like literally, this is a dream. It's almost +2. And it's really hard to argue with what has gone on here. This is great. He plays bishop d7, which makes sense. He's trying to get out of these brutal discoveries. And it looks like the computer likes rook d2 as a follow-up, or f4 immediately. I play f4 the next move. My move is it not good? I thought my move made a lot of sense. Yeah, it's still excellent. Okay, cool. Maybe I just have a lot of good moves in this position because white is just like smoking. Again, I'm just trying to take away his knight jump. He plays bishop c5. f4 is very good. So is knight f3. I just didn't think. I thought that the whole idea is I didn't want to block the path of the diagonal of the bishop by playing my knight there, but maybe that makes sense. So I play f4. It's not the greatest move here. He plays, okay, and apparently he should go to g4. He should go active, threading that fork. I mean, I would have been happy if he, just to show you the line that the computer recommends, this is what I wanted. Knight g4, I take. Oh, I see why that's clever. You see, because the discoveries doesn't work because his bishop is actually targeting my rook. So bishop takes on g4, and if I move my knight, I actually lose my rook. So I'd have to do something else. Like, let's say I play knight f3, which I think is a very reasonable move. It's not developing, it's blocking him here. Obviously he could trade, and we could play this position where I have these double pawns. I am up a pawn, and his king is still stuck in the middle of the board. But, I mean, this obviously still feels pretty good for me. He should probably move away from... oh, my phone is speaking. Funny enough, that's Ryan. He'll be happy to see a Joe Bava. All right, what did I... And apparently Apple just billed me. Damn, Apple. Okay, so, yeah, apparently this position, would have been fine, and then obviously he should move his king, because otherwise I'm going to be suturing down. This would have been a brilliant position. Instead he plays knight c6. He goes more passive, and they want me to play bishop f3. Oh, no. Knight f3. Yeah, I should have done this. Knight f3 makes a lot of sense. All right, come here, cat. Come here, kitty. No. Oh, okay. My move is actually not that bad. I was very critical when I played this in game, and he played h6, which is like the reasonable response. Again, oh by the way, I for the record, I was shocked that he didn't take. I wanted him to take, and again, I thought bishop takes on h3, and obviously I go g takes. Like yes, aesthetically again, these pawns look unpleasing, but my whole point is I'm trying to open lines to his king. And without the dark square bishop, I thought that my light square bishop would become, excuse me, without the light square bishop, my light square God, arrows are hard, would become a monster. So I really wanted to play this position, because I thought that, again, now I have all these discoveries. Let's say the computer suggests his best move is to basically get out of dodge. Well, let's say I, check him, and he just runs with his king. I mean, imagine playing this position. His rook is in jail. I own the entirety of the board. I am up a pawn, and I have so much piece activity. My natural move would be to play rook he1, which is second best move. They also like c3 to still just continue to take away squares for the knight, which I would have found given I found it in game as well. I don't know, and this position to me looks like, how do we put it, unlosable. You know what I mean? Like it just looks great and easy and fun and wonderful. So but none of this happened. Again, I just expected him to just take the take on h3 when I played knight. Like that, not even joking. I was shocked he didn't take the bait. I thought he would just take, and I envisioned that position. Instead, when he played h6, I realized this was really strong, because now I obviously don't have these ideas, and I can't backpedal until I chase his bishop away. I did play c3. Computer likes my move a lot. I'm proud of myself. Continuing to kind of strangle the opposition. The only time in life where strangling someone is a good thing, I guess. Can anyone in comments think of any other times where it's a good thing? Probably not, because probably not a good thing. But in chess, great thing. He plays rook e8. It's a good move. Again, he really defended very well, and they like my move back. I played the best move, bishop h5. Like I'm proud of myself. I played a great game until I basically threw it away. So I'm curious about the throwing it away process, because I was finding all these moves. So I'm just kind of curious. Like they're suggesting moves like a5, which is wild to suggest that, or even rook b8 here, giving up the pawn. So let's just say he goes rook b8, because he plays this anyway later. Is take like okay? I would just take. Yeah, okay. I would just take the pawn. He would play rook e2. What? No, that's rook e7. He would play rook e2, and so he would get right. So this is the line that I inputted. Rook e2. He would get the file, or the row. What is it? Okay, file is up and down. Row is left to right. There we go. Let's be thorough in our in our knowledge. So actually, this is a little bit of a problem, because he is threatening the g pawn. They say I can just move back though. How does that work? If I move back, I'm attacking his rook. He would take. Oh, this is clever. So the reason why f5 works here is he can't take here, because he then loses the piece. You guys should see, because now I have this wonderful, and I do see this from a distance without the computer. Now I have the discovery. He probably has to move back, or let's say he runs, and now I am actually winning the rook. So that's why this is pretty good. Oh, they actually like taking, not even the rook. They like taking, yeah, that makes sense, because otherwise there would be a rook, it would be an exchange, where here this is just a free piece. So this actually seems a little bit dangerous if I don't see that follow-up of f5. Before here also makes sense. I didn't want to allow this. Like this, it's still objectively winning, but nonetheless, okay. But so it would have been slightly dangerous taking the pawn. I would have had to see the idea of f5 for the discovery. I think I would have seen it, given I was constantly trying to, let these discoveries occur naturally. All right, I play b4. What do they prefer? They prefer rook h to e8 immediately, just taking the file first. Do they? Yeah, it's up there. No, b4. No, they're equal moves. Computer, don't do this to me. It's 0.02 difference. All right. He drops the bishop to b6, of course. d6 was better. Yeah, then he would have been off the For the record, if he went here, bishop d6, both knights are guarding the pawn, and the computer thinks that like I can just follow through with my plan, which is I freed the square and I can just move my knight, which is what I wanted to do. Like, this looks great. And then once I moved it, I have ideas of g3, and finally bringing my pieces into the attack, which is great. That's what I wanted. So then he drops here, and I play a4 immediately, which is the best move. And yeah, I just felt like I had a massive advantage here. Like, things are going from good to better, you know? The computer says he needs to break this pin real badly. He does play one of the better moves in this position, and I did take, and the computer likes my line. So, again, where did I go wrong? I take, takes to the king, I check, great move. He runs back to d8, and I play a5. Oh, excuse me. Do they not like my move first? Bishop g4? So apparently they don't like that. I just didn't want to have anything bearing down on my knight. I thought encouraging f5 limited the scope of his pieces and further clamped down, that in-between move. Plus, there's always the chance that your opponent blunders and misses an only move. There's a chance, right? So, but it's not as accurate. No, now they're giving it an excellent. They think a5 immediately here is better. Pushing to c7. No, and the computer always likes the g4 idea that I have. And the other move is rook d4, which is what I play as well. So the computer just likes what I did here. Only move, and now play to f3. Zeroing in on another pawn. He plays the best move, rook b8, kind of only move. a5 would be bold. I would have taken for sure. a5, I play the best move. Only response, bishop c7, and I'm just totally winning here. They love my move, rook d4. Wait. Now they say it's not the best move. It says it's the best move here, and now they said it's not. No, it's got to be the best move. I was proud of it. This frees up my knight. Just trying to get my pieces in the game. I think he should go g6 here. I don't know. So, all right, we've reached this position 25 moves in. I'm +4, and the problem is I need to go with the other plan that I thought of. Trading just is really bad. I lose this is just total blunder apparently. Like, it's plus +0.7 now. I'm barely winning. He did say in the recap. He said, yeah, when he traded, I just felt like such a relief that I'm like fine. If I played rook e d1, which is kind of what I should have done. What's his best? Yeah, his only move is rook e7. But I don't see the follow-up. They want me to go bishop h5. I mean, his pieces are just so stuck. I think that's the big thing. Is every piece is stuck. I have time. I have time to move my pieces. Honestly, I thought that if let's just say I probably would have played knight f2, not bishop h5, because I didn't see this idea. Bishop h5, rook c8, and then g6. And the thing is, we're rerouting to just win this pawn and put another attacker. Okay, which it's a difficult plan to see, but it's kind of one that I had in mind the whole time. I wonder if for that reason g4 is any good. No. No, it's quite bad. You know what I mean? Like shortening the thing, because then it takes, and we're doing the same thing, bearing down. But no, it is not still any good. But what I probably would have done is knight f2 to try to activate it this way. And now they say, like, literally, they're like, okay, just break the pin with king c8. And in this line, I'm getting my knight active. He just has very few moves, I guess. So there's just moves like c4 to further push my pawns in his face. Rook d2, basically allowing the trade here. King d2, which is an interesting move. I wouldn't play that one, that's for sure. Even moves like h3. I wonder if g3 is any good here. Yeah, it's still fine. So yeah, this was my mistake. I needed to slide over. Force this and play this position. Yeah, he's just losing a piece here. I mean, this looks horrible. He's gonna lose all his pieces. Because I actually have the windmill. The windmill tactic. All right, so I threw away the game here. Well, I didn't throw it away, but I went from having +4, just totally winning, to now it's like +1, and it's not even clear I'm winning anymore. I should just play. He moves over. What was my idea with the h5 check? That he might make a mistake. There's like one place he can put the king. Everywhere else is bad. Doesn't do it. Yeah, I mean, I've thrown away this game. Wild. In fact, I'm actually slightly worse after that move. Wow. I mean, it's equal after this move, but I've managed to blow the game. Play g3. Plus, there's nothing here. I've completely dumpster fired this game. You're saying I need to trade. I try for the one trick to push this. He actually has a couple moves, it looks like. Bishop b8, which then gets out of the way of that threat. d6, bishop d6, that is. And the move he played, rook d7, which I thought was a good move. Trying to get my knight active. Knight d1. He now forces the trade. I move over and it's just drawn. Yeah. I take. He takes. I still have a clear... Okay, now I'm back to being +1 in this position. So I definitely have winning chances still. All right. Oh, dear. So how did I blow the winning chances? Oh, God. So he makes a mistake here. Wait, did I just miss this tactic of taking the... I just missed taking the pawn? Am I stupid? This is such an easy one. Was I afraid of him moving his king over or something? God. You play so well, and I actually think I generally did play so well, and I missed such an obvious tactic. Like, I think I was so in line with centralizing the king that I just missed like the tactic in this position. Like, it's not hard. It's just an undefended piece. It's literally undefended. Just take the pawn. He had been defending it all game, and he's active, sure, but just take the fucking pawn. Even this move is fine. King d2 is the third best move. I still have an advantage, but I literally could have just taken a free pawn. I'm still better. Moves over. And I have to find... What? Oh, that's a clever move. So I don't know if you guys see what the computer is saying as far as the only move for white to have a clear advantage, and it's to avoid any of the bishops of opposite madness, where I'm just having a clear pawn, is you play this move, bishop e8. And the reason why is he can't go here, it dies. He can't go here. I guess he could go there. Why can he not retreat the bishop? I mean, the point is, if he takes, for the record, if he takes, this is very, very easy, because I have this fork once again. He moves over to g6. I take, and now, you know, his bishop is on pre. I have a clear 3-on-2, and my king is more active. This is very easy. I would win this for sure. So he can't actually take. So the key is he can't actually take on e8. So if he moves, let's say, to computer saying to e4, where it's a wooden shield, now I have this move, bishop c4, for example, or, you know, other bishop moves work. Excuse me, the knight move, and we're basically infiltrating this way to try to come in. So an example line would be I move my knight over to c4, Say he plays e6, attacking my bishop. We go back, and I centralize my king, and we play out this position. I don't know. Oh, instead I move my king up. In this position, again, I needed to play there or get my knight into the game, and I really needed to be more proactive about avoiding the bishops of opposite endgame. Like, I was sloppy, thinking I could just march my king in for king activity. Wow. Computer actually says I could have taken here. I thought taking just opens up his bishop. Right? Like, I was worried about this line. But this is still okay for me, because I go c4 with the idea of pushing c5. Okay. I'm not worried about him getting in? I guess not. Okay. Fair enough. I thought this was sealing it, but this is just zeros. This is nothing. He plays g5. I kid you not, I did not see g5. Whole time I thought he was going to play g6. The two moves are equal, but this is what I was calculating. I kept thinking g6 was better, but so I was actually floored when he played g5, as is the case. The two moves are identical. It doesn't matter, but whenever you see a move and it's like not the one you were expecting, you're always thrown, you know? Thrown for a loop. Thrown for a looper. All right, 40 minutes. This is going to be a shorter video because we're almost done here. So I move my king up, d4. They say it's excellent. Yeah, this is just zeros. This is just drawn. He takes. And I go for the line. I mean, it's the line. The two moves are both identical. Either one works, but I spent so long calculating. Knight d5 check. He takes. I take. And for the record, if he doesn't take, if he runs, I am better. And the reason why is I did calculate this out because here. If he's sloppy, is now it's not bishop opposite. Now we have light square bishop against light square bishop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But c4 is coming. c4, c5 is coming, basically. Still, this is not so easy, actually. I think. For, say he goes g5, attacking my bish. I drop it, and what happens here? He marches his pawn. Maybe because I'm like shouldering, I'm getting around here, I guess. And I'm gonna win all his pawns. I'm gonna push them. I guess so, right? Still pretty crazy. So this is just totally winning. All right. Nonetheless, I take. He takes. I go h takes. Takes with his bishop. Move my king in. His b5. Really? They think? No, not yeah. King takes is the only line here. Moves his king over. Play c4. Let's move. He moves over. I check him. Oh yeah. Move over. Goes down. I mean, as you guys can tell, it's just zeros. Like, I thought maybe the fact that these are all connected against the one, that and that this was a light square, that maybe I still had the winning chances, but like, I certainly made peace with the fact that this guy may have fought hard and earned a draw, you know. Playing the best moves. I mean, he genuinely resigned in this position. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take it, right? I'm just going to kind of look through the, the b6 ideas. Because if he takes, that's where it's losing, right? Because now this is winning for me. Oh, I saw a funny made idea if, he moves over, so, but, okay, so, like, let's say he takes here. And this is winning for me, because I'm defending the square, and it's unstoppable. So okay. So this, but the thing is, if I play b6, is he doesn't have to, like, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have to take. Like, that's what I meant. Like, he can literally just shuffle his bishop. Let's say he goes to bishop d2. And I'm not actually threatening to push or to take. Like, that's what I mean. And, like, this is what I saw. I saw it was only winning if he took back, if he took the pawn. But if he just chills here, I literally, I'm never making progress here. I can't. Yeah, this is just zeros. Is ignoring it. Because let's say I go here, he just shuffles his bishop. Oops, not there. Whoopsies. Okay, well. So there are plenty of spots where my opponent can make a mistake. Here I play here. If he takes, this is just going to be checkmate. Okay, well, maybe it's not so easy. So in this position, he has to play like here. Right, and here if I push, he just wins the pawn. And here I can't take, because after he takes, this is going to be a draw as well. I can defend my pawn, but I'm not going to win. Because he can end up sacrificing. Anyway, all right. Well, that's the game, guys. Yeah, he resigned in a 0 game. I mean, in fairness, kind of complicating. I guess he just didn't see it. But he had a lot of time. He probably could have used his time. Man, he played really well in the middle game. So many defensive resources. Again, lower rated, but played very, very well nonetheless. All right, I'll end this second video here. The third video will come out sometime later today, I guess. Oops. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.